So in this video, I'm going to make the cases to why every filmmaker is going to want to have one of these in their kit. It's by SmallRig, it's fully metal, it zooms in and out, it has 5 watts of power, and it's completely bicolored. Oh, and it's only $40. And it comes with a bunch of really cool accessories. Oh, and I'm also going to compare this little flashlight to a couple other more powerful SmallRig flashlights that you might want to consider. And just for fun, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how the little Gobo attachment for this little light compares to an actual spotlight on an actual light. Yeah, I think you'll find it interesting. Now, the operation of this light couldn't be simpler. It just has a power button, and then the power button acts as a mode button, and you just switch between the two modes, and that's brightness and Kelvin temperature. And as for Kelvin temperature, it goes all the way down to 1900 to 8000. Pretty cool. Get it? Cool? No, forget it. Now, I mentioned this was all metal and well constructed, but it's also waterproof. It has an IP rating of 65, so you can splash water on it. You just can't dunk it in water. It slides in and out to adjust the beam angle, and it also has this 1/4-20 thread with these airy pins on it, so you could mount it quite easily. A few turns, and yeah, there you go. Perfect for doing product photography. Now, for me, those features alone are enough for me to shell out $40, but it also comes with a bunch of really, really cool accessories. These are a lot of fun. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, barn doors. Barn doors for this tiny little light. Here, let's put them on. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, but if that's not enough for you, well, there's also a little snoot. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Then if you want a general diffusion, well, it's got that too. Might have to turn that up a bit. Something like that. Oh, and even though this isn't a full color light, well, there are some gels. A blue, a red, and a green. I'll just throw a little green on here. And I guess I could change the color temperature as well on the white light and get a little different shade of green. All right, let's try the red. Here, let's make it a little warmer. Fantastic. Oh, and if that's not worth $40 to you, well, there's this little Gobo attachment. Yeah, this is pretty insane. Now, this little lens that fits right over the top, it has a little place for a Gobo. It comes with 10 of these tiny, tiny little Gobos. They're so small, you feel like you need tweezers to operate this. So we take this one out, and let's just put up, let's just put up the bat symbol. Yeah, who doesn't like the bat symbol? Yeah, so there you go. And they all fit nicely in this little case. But that's not all. There's also these little colored Gobos. So this looks like slide film to me. And this one appears to be, yeah, I think this is the Earth here. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to find the need for this, but you know what? This is a lot of fun. All right, turn my fill light out. And here we go. Earthrise. All right, for $40, I bought Lego kits that cost more than $40 and brought me significantly less joy. Although they did bring me joy because, well, who doesn't like Lego? Oh, and if you're enjoying this video, could you do me a favor and just hit the like button? It's the easiest way to get this video out to more people like yourself. Okay, what the heck, while we're here, I'll just show you all the Gobos. All right, so we've got the Earth and whatever planet that is. I'm hoping this is the event horizon of a black hole. I'm seeing a definite space theme here. The galaxy, International Space Station, got a nice Saturn, the moon, whatever that is, and what looks to be Jupiter. Oh, but we could probably lower the Kelvin temperature and make that a little warmer. Yeah, that looks like Jupiter. Oh, and of course, a shameless plug. All right, now let's try the normal Gobos. Got a crescent moon, some nice lines, whatever that is, a little Halloween action. Happy birthday, whatever alien message that is. Oh, no, it's on the air. Here, let's fix that. A nice window, whatever this is. And of course, some blinds. And we're back to the bat signal. Now, even though I'm totally enamored with this little light, there are a few things that I wish it had. For example, I wish it didn't come in a cardboard box. A lot of SmallRig products come in fantastic cases, and I wish this one had that option too. Now, SmallRig does have a little bag that you can use where you can put all of your accessories inside of it. You know, I don't really want to put all of my accessories in a bag and have it rattling around. Yeah, I'd like to have a case. At least I'd like to have an option to buy a case, which I'd be willing to do. Now, my next complaint about this little light is the size of the Gobos. Not that they're really small, but they're not a standard size. In other words, I can't just go out on the internet and find a pack of 20 or 40 of these and get exactly the ones that I want. Pretty much have to use these. But the truth is, even if I could get a bunch more Gobos for this, I probably wouldn't use them because these Gobos are not focusable. You get the focus that is on the little unit. But again, for 40 bucks, it's great to have something like this to play with. And I can see for product shots that I could use some of these Gobos to sort of break up the light, which I do think I will be doing. And lastly, while this light is super, super bright, it's not really bright enough to do things like be a key light through diffusion or to light up your background. See, it's not bringing that much light onto the background, and this is at full power. I'd like it to be a little more powerful, because if it was brighter, I could use it for more than just close-up product shots. Which leads me to my discussion about this light, the RF10, which is 10 watts instead of 5. So twice the power. Now, SmallRig sent me this little light last year, and it's fantastic. It's also all metal, but it's not waterproof. Now, this isn't a bicolored light, but it does have 4 colors. In fact, if you look into the light itself, you can see the 4 chips that it switches between. And the fact that each LED is in a different place behind the lens means that, well, as you switch between the colors, it actually switches the direction of the beam. Oh, and the older RF10 doesn't come with barn doors, it doesn't come with gels, and it doesn't come with a diffuser. But it does come with some very interesting Gobos. It comes with this little attachment that goes on the front of it, and then you get a ton, and I mean a ton of these little plastic Gobos. Now, the first thing you notice about these Gobos is they're not very intricate, and they're pretty large shapes, and kind of slides in just like this. And this, then over the top. Yeah, surprisingly effective. And I can quickly splash a little light onto my subject. Now, I'm pretty confident that the success of the RF10 led them to make this little light that actually sells for $12 less and has all of those extra features. But the fact that this is a bicolored light and it's waterproof and those little gels are much more intricate than these, well, I think this is a no-brainer. This is a huge improvement, even though it's not quite as bright. But in my last video about the RF10, I tried to see whether or not I could make this actually work as a background light. You know, it works if you have a camera that's super sensitive in low light and you can expose from the background and then get all your other lights down lower. But I always wish that this was a little brighter. And guess what? They came out with one that is brighter. This is a 20-watt version of the RF10. It's the RF20. Now, the RF20 is very similar to the RF10, but it does have one extra chip here in the middle, you can see. So instead of having 4 chips in there, well, there are 5. 1 in the middle and 4 around. But we also get this, and that's a fan. Can you hear that? Here, let me hold it up to the microphone. Yeah, that might be a problem. But you know, that's what always happens when you get up to like a 20-watt light. It's going to have a fan in it. Otherwise, it's going to burn up and maybe burn your house down. But I will have to say that the fan on here is pretty loud, and it doesn't seem to go down. I've got this down as dim as possible, and yeah, the fan is still going pretty hard. Oh, and the screen on the 05, well, that's new because there's no screen on the 10 or the 20. Here, you get a nice little screen, and it gives you increments all the way from 1 to 100. So yeah, much better light and no fan. Great, powerful light. Noisy fan. Oh, and of course, it's a lot more expensive than the 10 or even the 5. So for me in this shootout, there's really no contest. This little tiny 5-watt light wins because it's only $40 and it has so many more features than these other brighter lights. Oh, but just when I was about to give up on these 2 lights, well, SmallRig did something I wasn't expecting. They came out with a new accessory for the RF10 and the RF20. It's this very cool spotlight mount, and this has me rethinking these 2 lights. Now, this little spotlight will mount on either the RF10 or the 20. Let's just put it on the 20. And the way you do that is you unscrew the lens on the top of the light. That goes in just like that. Oh, man. I'm totally getting lightsaber vibes. So with the spotlight on, well, we get a very, very powerful, focusable light. Now, the light is adjustable from a tight beam angle to a pulled out, much wider beam angle. Now, it does have these flags on here as well. So if I just want a little sliver of light, well, I've got that control here as well. And this comes with 10 much larger Gobos. These are 40 millimeters. Now, sadly, I haven't been able to find any 40 millimeter Gobos online. So yeah, that might be a problem as well. But I do love the fact that this little projection unit is focusable. So you can have it in sharp focus or you can defocus it. I kind of like the defocus look most of the time. And I also love the fact that you can just rotate the barrel so you don't have to pull the Gobo out and adjust that and put it back in order to get it to look straight. So the projector attachment for the RF10 or the RF20 put these lights in a whole new league because they can do something that that small little light can't do, and that's light up a background with a Gobo. So that's what I've got going back there. Yeah, this is the brightest the RF05 is, and I've got it on a little Gobo back there, and you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a pattern there, but it's really not doing the job. Now, I'll try to make a few adjustments so that you can see it a little bit better, but I'm going to have to make a lot of compromises. I'm going to have to dim everything down and crank up the ISO on my camera. So when I expose to the background, well, this is the best that I could do. I had to put my key light down to 1% because that's the lowest it will go, and my fill light will go to 0.1%. So I put it there, and still it's a little hot against the background. Yeah, this isn't really going to work to light up your background. That's why a light like this is something you might want to consider. And while this is one of the least expensive ways I know of to light up your background with Gobos, well, SmallRig has some other options for you as well if you're willing to spend a little bit more money. This is a 60-watt full-colored light from SmallRig. It's the RC60c, and this is the SP Mini Spotlight. And this light is fantastic because it also runs off of internal batteries. And it's going to be about 3 times brighter than the RF20. Oh, and it also comes in this cool case. So the big advantage of the SP Mini Spotlight is that you can put it on a much more powerful light. And I have it here at 70%, and it's doing fine. Here, let's turn it up to 100. Of course, I can always defocus it. I love that look. And of course, it comes with a pack of Gobos. Well, this was my long roundabout way of saying this is the best light I've ever seen for $40. It's so much fun and can do so many things, but it can't light up your background. Yeah, it's just not bright enough. But you know what? SmallRig has something there for you as well. You just have to pay for what you need as you move up the ladder. I do have an affiliate link if you're interested, but you know, this isn't about the money for me. This is about playing with gear. Yeah, I think I have a problem. Oh, and if you share in my addiction to video lighting, well, YouTube thinks you should watch that video right over there. They're an enabler. Sorry about that.